most people completely misunderstand what it actually takes to start a company in a small emerging country like Timor Leste. They assume it's just a simplified version of Western business registration, something you can complete in a few online forms and a quick payment. But the reality is very different, and if you don't understand how the system actually works, you can waste weeks, sometimes months, and end up stuck in paperwork loops you never saw coming. Now imagine this. Michael, a 34-year-old freelance software developer from Texas, had been working remotely for years. He was making good money, but like many digital entrepreneurs, he started looking for something more strategic. A place where he could legally structure his income, reduce operational costs, and maybe even expand into Southeast Asia's growing markets. That's when he came across Timor Leste. A small country in Southeast Asia, often overlooked, rarely discussed in mainstream business circles. But for Michael, that was exactly the appeal. Less competition, emerging infrastructure, and the possibility of setting up a simple LLC-style structure without the overwhelming bureaucracy of larger economies. So he made a decision. He would try to register a company in Timor Leste. But what he discovered next completely changed his expectations. Because the truth is, forming a business in Timor Leste is not just about filling out forms. It's about understanding a developing legal system that is still evolving, learning how foreign investment is handled, and navigating processes that are simple in theory, but surprisingly detailed in practice. And this is where most people go wrong. They assume simple means effortless. But here's the problem. Simple systems often require precision. And if you miss even one detail, your entire application can stall. So in this guide, we are going to walk through everything step by step in a way that actually makes sense, even if you have never registered a company anywhere in the world before. By the end, you will understand exactly how an LLC-style business structure works in Timor Leste, what steps are involved, what documents matter, and how entrepreneurs like Michael successfully navigate the process without getting stuck. But before we go into the technical steps, you need to understand the environment you are entering. Timor Leste is one of the youngest nations in the world. It gained independence in 2002, and since then, it has been steadily building its legal and economic systems. That means business regulations exist, but they are still developing compared to countries like Singapore or the United States. And that creates both opportunity and complexity. Opportunity because the market is not saturated. Complexity because procedures can change, interpretations can vary, and official requirements are often handled in person rather than fully online. Now let's return to Michael's story. Michael assumed he could register everything remotely in a few days. He hired a consultant who promised a fast incorporation. But after 2 weeks, nothing had moved. Documents were being requested repeatedly. Names had to be corrected. Forms had to be resubmitted. And that's when he realized something important. In Timor Leste, company formation is not just a transaction. It's a process of validation. Authorities want to know who you are, what your business does, and whether your activity aligns with local regulations. And this is where most foreign entrepreneurs hit their first wall. So let's break down the actual structure. When people say LLC in Timor Leste, they are usually referring to a limited liability company structure commonly used for foreign-owned businesses. The official term may differ slightly in legal language, but the concept remains the same. A separate legal entity that protects personal assets from business liabilities. Now here's where it gets interesting. Unlike some countries where you can form a company instantly online, in Timor Leste the process typically involves several key stages that must be completed in sequence. First comes business name reservation. This is where you propose your company name to the relevant registry authority. The goal is to ensure your name is unique, and not misleading, or already registered. Many people underestimate this step, but it is crucial because if your name is rejected, everything else stops. Michael learned this the hard way when his first application was delayed, because his proposed name was too similar to an existing entity. So he adjusted it. And that small change saved him weeks of delay. But here's where things get even more important. After name approval, the next step is preparing the incorporation documents. This typically includes the company constitution, or articles of association, shareholder details, and identification documents for all founders. Now, if you are a foreign investor, you also need to consider something else. Foreign ownership rules. Timor Leste generally allows foreign investment, but certain sectors may have restrictions or require additional approvals. That means before you even submit documents, you need to be clear about your business activity classification. For example, a digital consulting business is usually straightforward. But a business involving natural resources, land use, or regulated industries may require extra licensing. This is where many first-time founders get surprised. They think they are just registering a company. But legally, they are entering a regulated economic environment. And regulators want clarity. So your business description must be precise. Not vague. Not overly broad. Clear. Now let's go back to Michael. After fixing his company name, he moved to document preparation. He realized he needed notarized copies of his passport, proof of address, and a detailed description of his business activity. But then another issue appeared. Banking. Because even if your company is registered, you still need a business bank account to operate. And in many emerging markets, opening a bank account can be more complex than registering the company itself. Here's the insight most people miss. Company registration is legal approval. Banking is financial approval. They are connected, but not the same process. And this distinction matters more than people realize. Because without a bank account, your company is technically active, but practically limited. So Michael had to plan ahead. He started preparing banking documents early, including projected financial activity, source of funds, and expected transaction volume. And this is where the process becomes strategic, not just administrative. Now let's pause for a moment because this is a key turning point. At this stage, most entrepreneurs either give up or simplify their approach. But successful ones adapt. They understand that in countries like Timor Leste, patience and precision are part of the system. And once Michael aligned his documents correctly, things started moving again. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The next step is official registration submission. This is where your documents are filed with the relevant government authority responsible for business entities. In many cases, this may involve in-person submission or working through local representatives. And this is important. Because unlike fully digital systems, human verification plays a bigger role here. That means clarity, completeness, and consistency are everything. Even small errors like mismatched names or unclear translations can trigger delays. So Michael double-checked everything. And this time, he got approval. But approval was not the end. It was just the beginning. Because after incorporation, companies must typically complete tax registration, obtain a taxpayer identification number, and comply with local reporting requirements. And this is where many entrepreneurs experience what we can call the post-registration gap. They think the hardest part is over. But ongoing compliance is just as important as formation. For example, depending on your business activity, you may need to submit periodic reports or maintain accounting records in a specific format. And if you ignore this, you risk penalties or even suspension. So, what does all of this mean in practical terms? It means that registering a company in Timor Leste is not difficult, but it is structured. And structure requires discipline. Now let's bring everything together into a simple mental model. First, you secure your business identity through name registration. Then you define your legal structure through incorporation documents. Then you validate your identity and business activity through documentation. Then you submit for official approval. Then you complete tax and banking setup. And finally, you maintain compliance. Each step depends on the previous one. And if one step is incomplete, the entire process slows down. But here's the payoff. Once your company is properly established, you gain access to a legitimate legal structure in an emerging market with growing regional opportunities. And for entrepreneurs like Michael, that meant something powerful. Freedom to operate internationally with a structured legal base. But also responsibility. Because operating in a developing jurisdiction means staying informed, adapting to updates, and working with local processes rather than against them. Now let's zoom out for a moment. Why would someone choose Timor Leste in the first place? For some, it's cost efficiency. For others, it's market access in Southeast Asia. For others still, it's diversification of business presence. But the real value is not just the jurisdiction itself. It's understanding how global company formation works in different systems. Because once you understand one, you can adapt to many. And that is the real skill behind international entrepreneurship. Before we close, let's return to Michael one last time. Months after his initial struggle, he now had a fully registered company, a functioning bank account, and a clear operational structure. What once felt confusing had become routine. And when he looked back, he realized something important. The difficulty was never the process itself. It was the lack of understanding at the beginning. Once the system made sense, everything became manageable. And that's the real lesson here. Registering an LLC in Timor Leste is not about shortcuts. It's about sequence, clarity, and patience. When you respect the process works with you. So if you are considering setting up a company in Timor Leste, remember this. Focus on accuracy over speed, preparation over assumption, and structure over improvisation. Because in the end, success in international business doesn't come from rushing through systems. It comes from understanding them deeply enough to move through them confidently. If you found this guide helpful, and want more videos that break down complex global business structures in a clear and practical way, make sure to subscribe to the channel.